Hi, my name is Mark Bellissimo, CEO of Tryon Equestrian Partners. We often get asked questions from EB5 investors, and it's impossible to answer all of them, so we thought we'd prepare some answers to the most significant and most often asked questions. My background in the equestrian industry goes back about 14 years, where there was an initial investment in Wellington, Florida, which is now considered to be the winter capital, if not the world capital of equestrian sport. Investment centered around trying to create a lifestyle environment for riders and participants, trainers, owners, etc. And that has emerged into an event that the Winter Equestrian Festival that has over 3,000 active participants in any given week over a 12-week period. And we tracked 50 states, 43 countries, and it has emerged as the place to be for polo, show jumping, and dressage. That event generates about $200 million of economic value to Palm Beach County, which includes 160,000 bed nights. But in the process, we've cultivated relationships with a significant number of sponsors, trainers within the industry, riders. It really has been a fantastic platform for us to really become a world leader and one of the largest show organizers in the world for equestrian sport. And those relationships are very important and were important conditions in our pursuit of the Tryon project. My interest in pursuing Tryon really rests in the fact that the equestrian industry is probably one of the largest untapped industries in the U.S. economy. It's a $110 billion industry, but it's extremely fragmented. And so my interest in pursuing another project really centered around trying to take what we had created in Wellington and take it to the next level. If you think of Wellington as sort of a Disneyland that was sort of created and architected as a first version, we inherited a lot of the infrastructure that exists there. It's sort of an imperfect structure, but we've done very, very well with it. In Tryon, we had the opportunity to create what I would consider to be a Disney World equivalent, where we were able to take a property, 1,600 acres, and really create and craft what we think is the most unique equestrian lifestyle destination in the world. The other major benefit of Tryon versus Wellington is that Wellington, for the most part, is a 3-month, 4-month season. There are very, very few places in the United States where the weather system would allow you to have what could be a 9-month, even 12-month season. In picking the area, we found a place that really affords what is a great lifestyle environment with mountains, hills, but also a weather pattern that is fantastic. And so as you look at what we've built here, there's not a lot of temporary structures, it's all permanent structures. And we are creating something that is very unique. We've got about 40 weeks worth of licenses, and we will continue to expand not only equestrian events, but add non-equestrian events to this platform. The Equity in Tryon Resort is owned by 5 equestrian families who all have had a long-standing passion for equestrian sport and the equestrian lifestyle. The 5 investors are a subset of the investors in Wellington, so they're quite familiar with the environment and what we built in Wellington. And so the partnership has stepped up to invest about $140 million. That is all subordinated to the EB5 debt. So make no mistake, we are absolutely committed to the success and the outcome of this project, and are actually very, very eager and excited to see it transition to what we think is going to be the premier equestrian lifestyle destination in the world. I think one interesting element of the equestrian industry, as I mentioned before, is that it's a $110 billion industry, and in our eyes, it's untapped. And so the opportunity to really try to create an environment that was very unique from Wellington and unique in the equestrian world was very exciting for the partners. The other element that I think is interesting is that the partners, who all have investments in a lot of other areas, looked at this as a very unique investment as it relates to resort destinations. If you think of ocean resorts or golf resorts or ski resorts, I mean, there's hundreds of them. This was an opportunity to create something very unique that would attract a very interesting recession-resistant demography. And so from our perspective, we thought it was a massive market. If you think about it in the context of participants, there are 8 million people who will snow ski in a given year in the United States. 23 million people will play golf, 25 million will play tennis, and 28 million people will ride a horse. That's a very significant population. Additionally, there are 250 million people on Facebook that express an equestrian-related interest. And when you put those numbers together and combine it with a media company that we own, which is Chronicle the Horse, which has 12 million unique visitors, we believe that we could create a platform that would attract the world's equestrians to a place where they can enjoy sport, entertainment, and lifestyle. An important element in every investment is how do I get my money back? And from our perspective, that's something that we obviously have constructed into the business model in a way that's very, very interesting. If you think about Wellington, where we've got a number of different revenue sources of food and beverage, the entry fees, sponsorship, vendor, retail, etc. Tryon gives us a very, very unique opportunity in that the Wellington model, which generates 160,000 bed nights over the 12 weeks, which is a significant impact to the local economy, accrues zero to the Wellington partnership. What we're able to do in Tryon is actually create it in a rural environment where we can capture a lot of the lodging revenue, which is a very, very significant portion of that revenue stream, which also accelerates and augments the food and beverage, it augments the entry fees, it augments a lot of the other opportunities, but also gives us an opportunity to create trade shows for the industry, or music festivals, or art festivals, or all kinds of other festivals that can be integrated into this environment. And so from our perspective, that bolus of lodging revenue, which will be tied to hopefully what is about 400 to 800 rooms that will be added over the next year or two, will give us the cash flow to support the business, obviously, but as importantly, attract enough people to the area that allow us to sell the real estate, which is the big opportunity here. And we've had a tremendous amount of interest after the World Equestrian Games for accommodations on property, and that will take the form of lots, homes, condos, apartments, etc. And so the real estate value is in the hundreds of millions, and we're extremely confident that this will be one of the most attractive areas, especially for people who really enjoy the equestrian lifestyle. U.S. Precision Construction is an element of our partnership strategy to build the resort. As many people know, the U.S. construction, if not the world construction market, is a challenging market with housing shortages and labor shortages and a whole host of related price increases. And it's a very unpredictable environment to actually secure and get things built on time and at the right price. And our fundamental view early on was to build modular products on property. We were very successful early on with a couple modular efforts, and then decided to expand what was climate-controlled construction into something that would be automated construction. And so we've invested a significant amount of money, tens of millions of dollars, in this technology, which is allowing us to really create a platform that not only will allow us to accelerate the development and implementation of hotels and condos, apartments, housing on property, but it will also provide an external environment for us to work with third-party developers to create value for the partnership. I'd like to thank all the EB5 investors who had the faith and confidence to invest in us. Thank you. And to the ones that are considering investing in us, we appreciate your consideration. This is an investment we take very, very seriously. As I mentioned, we've put $140 million into this investment as partners. We're committed to both the project and to the outcome, and believe that we have one very, very unique team of employees that are passionate about the company, passionate about our vision, and are confident that we can deliver to the expectations that we set. And so in closure, we are very, very excited about your participation and look forward to many years of interaction.